Hello everyone, Beats a Pretty back again. As I promised before, I do have another Albino Dragon review. I told you about that about a week ago. This is the Goonies. There is the unbranded deck and the more limited edition bicycle branded deck. I'll be selling this one if anyone is interested. It does say the Goonies. This is, well, look at the unbranded deck. It says the Goonies on the front, and you see this pretty cool ship on there in the ocean. This one, you get the same artwork, except there is some gold foil embossing on there. It says bicycle since 1885 on top. Still says the Goonies on the bottom. This is embossed as well. Nothing on this one, no embossing. But this one is embossed and has foil embossing as well. There's also embossed details. I don't know if you can tell, but like right here, there is some embossed details on the ship, which makes it a little more three-dimensional. On the side, they both say Air Cushion Finish made in the USA, except this one again, embossing in metallic inks, or metallic foil I should say, foil embossing. Same thing on the other side. The top says Poker Size Albino Dragon on both of them. And of course this one again with foil embossing. This one, both of them on the bottom, they got barcodes, some USB-C info. This one has a little bit more trademark type stuff than this one because it's the bicycle branded one. The back, you see the back design, which we'll look at better when we get to into the cards. But this one, it should be noted, does have some embossing on it. It's a little bit hard to see. And no seals on either one. Yeah, I'm back. My reviews. Vito's A32's reviews. The only ones were an alarm will go off in the middle of a review, or the phone will ring in the middle of a review. You never know what's going to happen next. Stay tuned. So, we get into the flap. This one has bicycle trademark stuff, and again, more foil embossing in gold. Really nice. Or maybe metallic ink. No, it looks more like a foil embossing, or a foil, and not a metallic ink. That's what I would say. This one, I can see it has more of the same in there, but it's not going to have the bicycle trademark stuff because it's not branded. On the flap, some more foil embossing with the Albino Dragon logo and a kind of a skull and crossbones, except it's a skull with two swords, pirate swords. My pirate attempt. So inside you do get a kind of an ad card. It kind of features a bad design with the middle cut out, and it tells you who is on each chord card, which is a little bit strange because it tells you exactly who each chord card is right on it. And it says, the Goonies never say die. Also, there's a little copyright detail in the corner of each card on the backs and the faces. Here's the back, by the way. You do also get a double backer. The backs, pretty cool wooden type details, skull and crossbones with patch over his eye and a bandana. And it says Goonies never say die with a little trademark thing in the corners. It's barely noticeable, but it's there. And of course, I think I mentioned never say die. Pretty cool. And it's not white borders or faces, it's a beigey color. You get the Jokers, you get that skull and crossbones made out of swords in black, Joker in the two corners. This one's the same thing in red. You can also see there's a bit of a design in the background, kind of cracking and whatnot. Not sure what that is exactly, but you'll see it's on every card. The Ace of Spades, again that kind of skull and crossbones. Within the spade pip, which is a pretty simple pip, it says the Goonies never say die on the top and the bottom as well. Put these away. All the aces kind of similar artwork. They all say Goonies never say die. Top and bottom with a little TM for trademark. And it's got a plus and an equal sign. See? And then the diamonds Interesting little pip, longer on one side. Pretty well done. Then we get to the court cards. This one is Mouth, of course. And again, I apologize, I'm not fluent in Goonies. It's a 1980s movie. I was a kid when it was originally on. I have watched it, a couple times throughout the years, but not religiously, and yeah, never really paid a whole lot of attention. It was on, so I watched it, so I'm not really, fluent with all the characters. They all have the custom pips, though. This one is Francis. This one is Jake. Not the Snake Roberts. Willie. I like the colors, I like the details. This is Infernal, and apparently all the women are Sips, or some of them. This one is Mama. This one is Andy. I'm sure we all had a crush on her. I'm pretty sure I did. She's always cute. Mikey. Chunk. Of course, we all remember him. Data. I remember him too. I remember most of these characters. And Sloth. That's kind of a freaky looking guy. And then there's Steph. I'm pretty sure not too many guys had crushes on her. No offense or anything, but... And then your number cards, they all feature the same custom pips and indexes. They all say the Goonies, never say die on the top and bottom. They also all have that sun type design here in the background. As you can see, it looks like a sun. This one you can definitely see it pretty good. I'm not too sure what that's about, but it's there. So that's what you get. Pretty cool cards. Air Cushion Fitness, Bicycle, Stock, or better. I could do without the little trademark thing on the corner of the backs of the cards, but it's a very minor, subtle detail that's tiny and it's pretty hard to notice. I also could have done without Goonies, never say die on the top and bottom of every face. I mean, it's already on the top and bottom of the back of every card, so why do we need on the face as well? But probably a licensing agreement. Nothing we can do about that. Nonetheless, they look pretty cool. Especially if you're a fan of the Goonies. They handle good. The only downside to this deck is that unless you're an American, you can't buy it. Because Albino Dragon refuses to sell to non-Americans. They refuse to sip to non-Americans. Apparently we're too much of a hassle. Apparently they don't like it because there's issues, it's more expensive, people come back and say stuff got lost, and that does happen, and it ends up costing them more, and they just made it sound like it's too much of a hassle, that we're too much of a hassle, so they're not going to sell to us anymore. The number two reason why this is not available to people outside the US is because of licensing agreements, and apparently they only want to get the licensing agreements to stuff in the US. Why bother with international customers? It's more of a hassle, so we'll just get it for the US. As a result, they're getting $12,000 to $15,000 per project, which is not a whole lot of money, and they're not going to get too far with that. And they're losing a lot of potential customers because they're too much of a hassle. But nonetheless, I did get this because I had someone in the US to receive it for me and send it to me, so screw you, Albino Dragon. I'm going to get the decks in Canada, whether you like it or you don't like it, whether you want me to or you don't want me to, and whether your licensors want me to or don't want me to. I'm going to get them if I want. Screw you. Just a little rant. And if you want to get them, just find someone in the US to help you out, to back the project, or to get a couple extra for you and they'll send it to you. Screw it. That's all you can do. I have had since this, the Ghostbusters deck, which I will be getting one or two in the trade. There was the Wizard of Oz decks, which I didn't get but hope to get eventually. And coming soon, I believe Breaking Bad, which I might skip out on, because I've never seen a single episode of Breaking Bad, and I don't see what the big deal is. and then they got more coming as well, including, I believe, a Street Fighter deck. or Mortal Kombat, something like that, and whatnot. But anyways, sorry for going on and on there for a bit, ranting a bit, but that's what I got. I don't think you can get these at collectibleplayingcards.com because of licensing issues, but they do have a lot of other decks that you can get that have no issues. You can get them anywhere in the world. Use the code VJose32, you get 10% off at collectibleplayingcards.com. Use the code VIC10 to get $10 off their membership, which gets you access to exclusive decks and also further discounts if you get a higher level of membership. That's what I got. See ya next time.